Hi friends, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you a step-by-step method in making a BIM standard Revit family in Autodesk Revit. It is of the utmost importance to make sure that you resist the urge to just delving into modeling geometry when making Revit families. There are so many things that you have to put in place before starting to model. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Yeah, you there. Don't do it. Anyways, the first thing on our list is defining what it is that we are making. Is it a wall? Is it a furniture? Is it a lighting family? Is it a window? Is it a specialty family? We have to define what exactly it is we're making. And the next thing we want to do is also specify the LOD. Now, LOD means a level of detail or level of development. And this is basically just how complex a model can get in terms of how much information you put into the model for the people that are going to actually use it in their projects, or if you're going to sell it to someone. So the level of detail basically means the complexity of the geometry and all the information that you're going to provide when making the Revit family. And this can range from 100, 200, 300, and to 400. I'm not sure if I've seen them go past 400 again, but again, hey, what do I know? But yeah, so you have to specify the level of detail of the geometry of what you're going to make before making the Revit family. Next up on our list is setting up the environment and making sure we have the right template for whatever you're trying to make in Revit. I'm going to take my glasses off for this. Yeah, come closer, more. You want to make sure you use the right Revit template for making the Revit family. For example, we would not want to put a furniture family on a lighting template.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I thought as much. Okay, back up. Yeah, you're too close. Okay, let's get into Revit and see how that works. I am going to open my Revit here on my laptop. I'm poor, guys. I only have Revit 2021, so that's what we're going to be working with today. Nobody really knows how to make it right. Once we have the Revit interface open, go to Family, then click on New to create a new family. It will bring up these templates that are automatically loaded once you install Revit on your laptop or on your Mac, I guess. I'm side-eyeing Mac users.
Bombastic side-eye.
You guys make me sick.
You guys make me sick to my stomachs, fam.
Anyways, I'm going to be making this. It should be floating on your screen right now. This is a coffee table by Javorina. Javorina is called blah, blah, blah. It's called Herb Coffee Table by Javorina, and I got this from a website called RT Products. You should be seeing this. Anyways, let's get back into the video. I'm going to be using a metric generic family template for this. So I will go to metric generic model, click on that, and press open. Give it 1 second.
2 very boring minutes later.
There we go. Now we're in the Revit family template. It's very important to make sure that you pay attention to this green lines that intersect themselves at the middle. They're called reference planes, and reference planes are like your best friends in Revit. If you're not using reference planes to orient yourself in making Revit families, then what are you doing? I have no idea. Before we create the new reference planes, I am going to import the AutoCAD file of the coffee table as a reference point in order to build the family correctly. So I will go to insert, click on import CAD, and look for my file. So yeah, we are going to be modeling Herb Round wooden coffee table by Javorina. This is the CAD file that the good people from Autodesk Products have provided for us. I will keep the settings as is and just adjust it as I go. I'm going to click on open. This is the plan and this is the elevation. So I'm going to import one on the front elevation as well. You will notice that you can't really do much with it here because it is pinned, and in order to unpin it, just click on this icon here. Now we can move it to the center of the reference plane. So I'm going to zoom in and use the keyboard shortcut MV to move. MV, that's middle, perfect. So now I have it on the plan, which is the reference level. Let's bring the same thing on the front elevation. So the front, go to insert, import CAD, bring the same coffee table. Right now it's pinned, so unpin that and move it right to the middle. So to move elements in Revit, you can use the keyboard shortcut MV, or you can do that in the modify tab here. And to move it, I think it's one of these ones. Yeah, this one here. Move. Yeah, MV. Let's find the midpoint and move this guy here. And this is perfect now. So we're just going to pin it back in place. So now we have our base point in order to make our model. Remember what I told you about reference planes? This is where we now draw our reference plane and assign the proper parameter to it. The keyboard shortcut for drawing reference plane is RP. So type RP and draw reference planes on the outline of whatever shape you're trying to draw, but we have a round element here, so we're just going to put it on the circumference. So draw one vertical ones. We're going to drag this guy down and mirror it around the central axis. To mirror elements, you can use the keyboard shortcut MM or just click on this here. So click on this and then click on the axis. Now we have another one there. Let's draw horizontal ones. RP, reference planes. Make sure we're picking the correct extent. Draw this guy out here. Click on that and mirror it to the other side as well. So click on that and mirror. Great, we've successfully created reference planes. The next thing to do is add dimensions and assign parameters to it. So I'm going to dimension DI from the extent to the midpoint to the extent. Make sure we click on the EQ sign. And the reason why we're clicking on the EQ sign for parametric families is that we want to be able to flex it so that we prove that it satisfies its constraints once we want to scale up to a different dimension or to a different form. Now we've done that, let's do for the overall length. So it's 700 in diameter. Let's do for the same thing for the width as well. So just the same idea here. Dimension there, click on EQ, dimension the overall length and press OK. So far so good. We've used the right Revit family template. We've created reference planes to help us navigate through the model, and we've created dimensions. The next step is to define what type of parameters are going to be used in the family. There is a type parameter and there's an instance parameter. I'll explain. The type parameters are located in the type properties, which can be accessed from the edit type button at the top right of the properties windows. They control any family of that type. On the other hand, the instance family parameters are located in the properties panel for each family. They only control the information for the selected object. Type parameters apply to all instances of a family, ensuring uniform changes across multiple elements, while instance parameters allow just for individual adjustments. I hope that makes sense. In this case, we're going to be using a type parameter. I will click on the dimensions that we've created. Look at this icon here where it says create parameter. We click on it and create a type parameter. This I'm going to call length. Click on OK. And this we call, you guessed it, width. Bob's your uncle. Perfect. There's one more thing we want to do. We also want to create the height parameter as well. So we go to the front elevation and draw a reference plane and dimension it. It's 350 millimeters high. Click on this and give it a type parameter. We're going to call this height. Now for everyone's favorite part is creating the geometry, and you can create any geometry in Revit by going to the create tab here and using any of this plethora of create items. For this case, we're going to be using the revolve, and the idea behind the revolve is that you make one side using the boundary line and you draw an axis line and Revit completes it for you. Let me show you what I mean. We have an outline of the table, so I will click on revolve and use the boundary line to create one side of this table, then use the axis line to pick where I want it to revolve around, and Revit creates it for me. So let's start. I'm going to use the line tool. Let's start from here. So the hard part is done. We've used the boundary line to create one half of the geometry. We are going to switch it up and click on the axis line and draw a line right down the middle, just down there. And once you're happy, and just press this green check mark to finish the edit mode. And there you have it. It doesn't look like much right now, but let me change the display, the visual style to, let's say, shaded. Exactly. Let's look at it in the default 3D view. I think now is a good time to get rid of this CAD files. Thank you. We don't really need it anymore. Oh, it's pinned. This is the round coffee table by Javorina. I think it's called a herb coffee table by Javarina. And we are not done. We've successfully used the revolve tool to create the 3D geometry. We also need to add a material to this. From the image I saw, it seems like it's just one nice wood veneer finish. I'm going to rely on the good people at Enscape to give me something, good. So I'm going to go to Enscape and go to their Enscape material library and navigate to where I see wood. Let's see what we like here. I think I like wood 26. Wood 37 looks good so far as well, but I think I'm gonna go with wood. Ooh, 47. Good God Almighty. It's between 26 and 47. Mini, miny, mo. Father had a donkey. My instincts told me to go with 26, so I'm gonna go with that. Click on that, and you see where it says import selection. You can download it to your computer. We need to assign materials to this, so what we need to do is click on the geometry, and in the properties tab where it says materials and finishes, right now it says by category. We do not want to use that. It's a gray glossy finish. We want to make sure we click on this associate family parameter and click on new parameter. We're going to call this coffee. Oh my lord, I forgot how to spell coffee. Is that how to spell coffee? Oh, it's night anyways, don't judge me. Coffee table wood. That's a very random 3-word combination. Press OK and press OK. You notice nothing has changed because we haven't assigned the wood finish to the geometry. To do that, we go to where it says family types. Click on that, and to bring up this menu, right now we've created a material parameter for the coffee table, but we haven't assigned a material to the parameter. So that's what we're going to do now. We have the height parameter already there. We have the length, we have the width as well. Just click on the 3 dots and find the wood 26. Let's make sure we use a render appearance. Press OK. Let's make sure the glossiness is also 700 millimeters. Perfect. Apply. Okay. Oh, sorry. It's not in realistic. And there you have it. I know. It's okay. Stop, guys. Stop. This is a step-by-step method in making a Revit family. It's important to make sure we know what we're making it for. If it's for construction documentation, you need to make sure you put parameters to make sure it's tagged so it reflects the design intent. When you're making your submissions, we have to make sure we use the right proper Revit template. In this case, I just used a generic metric model. I should use Imperial, but I live in Canada, we use Imperial. I just used metric. We have to make sure we use reference planes to set the boundaries of the geometry we're going to draw. In this case, I used a CAD file to help me orient myself to kind of see what I'm going to use. The next thing that we did was associate the family parameter to it. For example, making sure we use a type parameter or an instance parameter and knowing the difference between the two and which one goes best for your Revit project. The next thing we did was create the geometry. There's a really big urge to jump into making geometry when making Revit families, but if you had followed all the steps before this, you would have a really good, appropriate BIM standard Revit family. The next thing we also did was associate a material parameter to this, and now this thing is good to go. We can save it and load it into a Revit project, or you give it to whoever asked you to make it. But I'm going to take it one step further. I want to visualize this with Enscape and just see how it looks like. So I'm going to click on Enscape and start the project. Let's see what it looks like, Okay, so let's look at it in orthographic view. This is a really good looking coffee table, if you ask me. Oops. Let's zoom out a little bit and play a little bit with the sun. Another thing to double check is the visibility settings of your modeled element. If this is something you would like to show in every view, for example, we will want to make sure it's visible in your Revit family. And see where it says visibility graphics override. We click on edit if you do not want it to show in any of this, or if you want it to show in just one, let's say for example, you are just working in medium, then you click on that. If you want it to show in plan, front elevation, left, but I just kind of check all these boxes just to be safe. But again, it depends on what you're using the family for, and again, the BIM execution plan of the project and the project details for the LOD. But it's also important to make sure you check the visibility and graphics overrides so it shows up properly, because many times you make a family and you bring it into a model, but it's not showing because one of these things is turned off. So you just make sure you do double check on that when making Revit families. And yeah, that is a step-by-step, or my step-by-step method in making Revit families. I've made a lot of Revit families in my prime, and I hope this helps. And I hope this improves your workflow moving forward. If there's anything you would like to learn more in Revit, BIM, Enscape, architectural visualization, please make sure to write it in the comment section, and I will make sure to look at it and make videos that pertain to Revit, Enscape, BIM, and architectural visualization. I hope that helps again, and I hope this makes your workflow easier, and I hope you've learned something valuable today. And hey, that's all for today. I hope to see you guys on the next one. Bye for now. Cheers.